Yeah, you already know what time it is. Your man Stay Fresh, and you can catch me live. Click the link, swipe up, do whatever you got to do on the Ugly Money Podcast, man. It's just simple, man. Look, and then another thing, text Stay Fresh, all one word, to 61474. Help save my life. Be the match. Let's go.
What up, what up, what up? I am Ugly Money Nietzsche, and welcome to yet another episode of the Ugly Money Podcast and my special guest of the evening, Atlanta's own Crunk era abolitionist. This man was involved in more deals than goddamn New York Yankees. Let's just keep it all the way real. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, show your love for Stay Fresh.
Man, I appreciate you, man. That was one of the best intros I think I ever seen.
It's true, man. You know, I've been interviewing for about a year now, and your name has came up in about 4 or 5 interviews.
Man, that's a
and
blessing.
They all got great things to say about Stay Fresh.
You sure it was all good stuff?
Yeah, they all got great things to say about it. We're going to get into it. But the first thing I got to ask you is the question everybody wants to know.
Yes, sir.
It was who was Stay Fresh before Stay Fresh was Stay Fresh?
Man, that's a good one. Stay Fresh, man, is just a humble servant of God, well known throughout the industry with his finger firmly on the pulse of what's hot and what's not, what's going on, and what is possibly going to happen. So yeah, that visionary has always been in my that's what I would say.
That's dope, man. Talk to me about growing up in the pre-Crunk era.
Man, growing up in Atlanta was very interesting. It was very. I learned a lot of things early on in the West End, which is where I'm from, the West Side. Imam Jamil, H. Brown, Free Jamil Alameen, Free Rollo,
yes, sir,
and our other political prisoners. But I grew up in a very tight knit ummah, which only means community in Arabic. So. You know, Muslim background, West End. As you all know, if you're from Atlanta and you come to the West Side, that's where some of the most conscious, independent black minds are, from the Muslim community to the Israelites to the Pan-African movement to the Shrine of the Black Madonna. It's just a lot of positivity that goes on in the West Side.
Respect. No, shouts out to the West Side, man. There's a lot of artists that came out to the West Side. Now, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of the thing. Like I said before, your name has come up in a lot of interviews. I remember your name came up in the Bo Hagen interview. Your name came up in the Scrappy interview. A lot of Crunk era artists credit you for helping them get their deals.
Yeah.
How did you get that situation? How did you become that guy, the connector?
Oh man, well some people run fast, some people jump high, some people are strong, some people got muscles. I just was able to. My superpower, I think, was the ability to see the future and to see people in a position that they necessarily didn't see themselves in at the time, and that came from me just meeting Vince Phillips, Little John, and the whole BME family early on. I think maybe I was in the 5th grade. I think the first time I met Vince and Little John, I think I lied, to be honest with you. I think I told him that he was coming to speak at my elementary school for like career day or something like that. Vince Phillips, he's like one of the owners. He was the one who had power of attorney over Lil John's name. So he could sign John's name without him being present. So that's who I met first. And long story short, I lied because we were out there and I had Cynthia McKenzie and he had and she had the mail, and the students, we were the 2 most outspoken students in the school. So long story short, they put us out in front of the school, and I happened to see his black Suburban truck on rims. And I was geeked up about the truck when I seen him pull up, but I was even more geeked up when I seen it was a black man that hopped out. I'm like, oh no, you know what I mean? And he had on a suit. I was like, yo, he don't sell dope.
Wow.
So I was smart enough then and that inquisitive when I was young to know that, and I immediately switched signs with the young lady. We end up proceeding into the office, and of course the staff knows who's walking who around. They wanted an outspoken young man to be with a woman, and vice versa, a girl to be with a man. And I go and I said, he requested he would feel more comfortable with a young man versus a young woman student. And he's looking at me like, I don't even know you, kid. Like, and I'm like, and he's like, yeah. So he went along with it, and that's how I met Vince.
Wow.
It came off of me lying.
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade.
and created a career off of it almost.
On career day.
So fast forwarding to Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Your first time meeting Lil Jon and how that went. And
man, quick on that one. John never wanted. I don't think John ever really, and he never really embraced the idea of having such a young cat around. You know what I mean? So he instilled in me the patience and that. I don't know if you ever listen to Kevin Liles. He spoke about how when he was in certain meetings before he was the man, he was the coffee guy.
Exactly.
Like John would let me know I was the coffee guy. Like you know what I mean? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like seriously. But it gave me thick skin and it forced me to earn all my relationships. Because a lot of people just want to be known and to be seen. Mm-hmm. But how many people understand what that position is, how it affects people's life, and what the overall picture is, not just a pixel.
Yes, sir.
So he taught me how to just have that thick skin and to really, if you really want to do this, to do it. So yeah, I mean, because honestly, he was one of the first people, under Jermaine Dupri. A lot of people don't know that.
Wow, John was under Jermaine Dupri.
Intern. The way John got on was through Jermaine Dupri. So it's 3 generations. So Little John was put on by Jermaine Dupri. Little John put me on. Crazy. So, I want everybody to understand that we have to pour back in.
Yeah.
John wasn't always Little John. He was the guy getting the records. He was the guy in the bottom on promotional internship. Wow. Like, that's what he was. He wasn't always Little John. And he was working for So Def in the basement. And it's a funny story Jermaine Dupri told me one time. He found out about John's rap career when he walked down into his promotional basement and seen all his promotional material with John's name on it. He's like, wow. You're working for me, but you will, man. You got a record. Let me hear the record. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, that's how it kind of took place between them. But having that generational bond, John didn't really start taking me serious until I was in the 9th grade, bro.
Well, I mean, to be taken serious by Little John at any grade is dope.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You definitely got started early, obviously.
Yeah.
With things or whatever. Now, tell me your relationship with Scrappy and how you were instrumental in his situation.
Man, me and Scrappy have always had a close relationship. Me coming from the west side to the east side and developing those relationships and cultivating those relationships and understanding, to never take a no as a no. It's only a suspended yes. Wow. And we can come around and readdress that. So me and Scrappy hit off on that basis, only. Trillville, it was a lot of personality as far as Don P, Dirty Mouth, and L.A., and great brothers, but just me and Scrappy kind of had that real connection. And he gave me the ability to, advance his career with some of my, how could I put this? I wouldn't say entrepreneur. I would more say industrialist ideas and approach to music. It wasn't conventional. Yeah, it wasn't conventional. So me and him hit off, and we created G's Up, which of course bred Crime Mob and a bunch of other hits that went and contribute to the culture. So it's just a blessing.
No, definitely, man. That whole crunk movement. That's when I think I fell in love with hip hop around that time.
For real, for me.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the energy. You know what I mean? I was a young kid, my damn self.
But you still got that energy though. I like that. A lot of people lose it and they lose. You got that good energy.
No, yeah, definitely.
You can feel it, that spirit.
Yeah, and it's still, it still rings on to this day. Like, do you think that there will ever be a Kings of Crunk tour? Or Crunk reunion
word
tour.
Through the grapevine, man. I heard it's in the works.
Wow.
Word in the grapevine says that we've been looking at some numbers and entertaining some things. Hopefully we can get it done after this whole COVID situation. But it was definitely in the works before COVID.
Because I asked everybody. I asked Trillville. I asked Scrappy. I asked Boeg. I asked everybody that was in that era about that.
You know what?
And they all said the same thing. They're like, we waiting on John.
Because I'm going to tell you why. The number has to be so high. Like, if you think about it, if you think about that package on that tour alone, that's probably $1 million ticket. Or if we say low end, 500,000.
Yeah.
Low end, you know what I mean? And these are cities and insurance, and it was definitely in the works of being done. I think it's possible to get it done. It's just working out people's schedules and timing. I think it's gonna happen, for sure, soon.
That would be dope.
Because you gotta the people gotta want it too.
I think they do though.
Yeah, I think that time is around.
Because I had the opportunity. I was signed to 8 Ball and MJG in 2014. So I had a chance and opportunity to tour with them on the Legends of Southern Hip Hop tour.
That was big.
And man,
Shout out Big Dude.
We okay. Yeah, Stay Fresh knows everybody, ladies and gentlemen. So I was able to tour with them, and I just saw the amount of the reception.
Yes.
The crowds were huge.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Where people used to go to R&B concerts, the older folk used to go to R&B concerts.
Yeah.
They now have grown folk hip hop.
And that's the thing. It's
And
like
that's
really
the
growing
new
up.
R&B, to be totally honest. Like as far as that,
Yeah.
not to say new R&B musically, but for that generation.
But
like,
the
that's
Oobies,
what
the
we came
Yin
up
Yang
on.
Twins, all of that, the Whispers, like that is
Came
now,
up on that.
yeah, you coming. It's a full circle. It's generational, and I think that we have to be patient enough with all music to understand and really see how it unfolds into the culture of hip hop itself. And I'm glad to be a part of such an era, and it unfolded in a tasteful manner. You know what I mean? Crunk was the exuberation of excellence and energy at his best. You know,
Where did the word crunk come from?
Little John. I remember being on the Grey Goose tour, and well, it didn't come from Little John coined it. It definitely was something he picked up in Memphis. We're not gonna get that confused from 666. We gonna let that be known now.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely from Memphis. It was adopted and accepted in Atlanta. And let's just say the city of Atlanta and our business culture, it moves its feet very very quickly, and you cannot use that word if it's spelled with a C or a K if you don't go holler at Lil Jon. So
Damn right.
I'm pretty sure there's trademark.
That's a beautiful thing, right
C
there.
or K.
So he just
you know what I mean?
owns the word.
I don't think you can pronounce it any kind of other way, like lunk, bump, like bunk, like you.
Nah, it's-
Crunk is C or K, and I think he got it trademarked both ways. So it's definitely a word that is from the South.
Facts. Looking back on everything,
Yeah.
what are you most proud of in your career?
To be absolutely 100% honest, man, I have sickle cell, and I've spent like over 3,000 days in the hospital.
Wow.
I've spent over $1 million to stay alive. I'm thankful for music because it saved my life. Hip hop saved my life, and I don't think a lot of people actually understand when someone asks you that question of when did you fall in love with hip hop, or I have a very intimate, deep relationship with hip hop because it saved my life. So I respect the art form, I respect the culture, I respect the direction and the craft of all. I understand the business, I understand how the business applies to the creative and how it has to be a mutual respect between the money and the creativity. I'm deeply, deeply, intimately romancing the struggles of hip hop. Where it from me splitting cheeseburgers to me being able to pay $6,500 a month in medical insurance and medical payments, and and having the ability to do this because we're touching the masses and understanding the messages that we're sending out, and it's a lot. But for sure, hip hop saved my life.
Amen to that, brother. It saved a lot of people.
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did.
If you could only imagine the alternatives that of some of these individuals that we speak about, if they didn't have that outlet, if they didn't have hip hop, if Lil Scrappy couldn't want no problem,
When he'd been causing problems.
He would have been causing problems.
You know what I mean?
saying?
Yeah, that's deep.
All that energy that these kids had at that time or whatever.
How would it
if
be
it would have been
manifested?
if it would have been somewhere else doing some other things.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do love about the culture and I love about the craft is it gives us an opportunity other than basketball to become millionaires.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And dope dealers, quite frankly, you know what I'm saying?
That's the last I heard. You had to be dancing good, or running fast, or whipping a mean crack rock to get up on the pockets of the white man. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So, shouts out to hip hop, man. And that's
Yeah.
and I just think it's dope because I am following in those footsteps of connecting people with labels and as me as an A&R now.
Yes.
And so I look at, what you've done. I'm like, man, how do you get all them in? You know what I'm saying?
It's relationships too, man. I think a lot of people under praise relationships. Sometimes it's not about who you know, but more importantly, who knows you. So you got to leave that impression on people and understand that first impression sometimes is your last. So you want to lead with that olive branch, no matter how heavy it is. You know what I mean? To reach out and extend that arm and to be like, thank you, or be, that takes a level of sincerity that a lot of people aren't willing to give in this entertainment industry because it leaves you vulnerable. And if you really, really want success, I'm not saying you got to take nothing from nobody or nothing like that, but you got to lead with that olive branch, man. You got to, you know what I mean? Like, especially if this is what you want to do, you know what I mean? We're a very communal society, and that means we have to communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what I think is important.
So a lot of it boils down to just being a solid person.
You got to want for your brother what you want for yourself, or you're a hypocrite. Like, I can't want to be good and make sure my family tight and then do you a bad deal, right? Like, seriously, I'm saying you can. It happens.
Yeah.
But the practices that I undertake have to have a certain acknowledgement of accountability and integrity, right? Because no amount of money will buy me out my hospital bed. So even if I was to get $1 million, right, out of you and gave you 100,000, and I got the $1 million, knowing that you was worth every bit of the 750, you know what I mean? Then, you know, woe is me, because we all owe God a death. And it's like, what are you doing in the meantime, in between time, is what really matters. Because in the grand scope of us being alive for maybe 100 years at the max, it's a blink of an eye that we're here to eternity. That we're not.
No, that's crazy.
Not to get too deep. I'm just saying, I think we should approach life with a little more accountability.
If they can't catch it, they can't catch it.
Yeah, that's all.
It's for who it's for.
Yeah.
Now let's just talk life, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, dealing with sickle cell. You said over $1 million to stay alive.
100%. If I didn't do hip hop, I would have been dead. Maybe 18, 19. For sure, 19, 20, 20. Wow. I would have, yeah. No way.
You looking for a match?
Yes, it's gotten to the point where money is no longer the motivation. Money is no longer the problem, the situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's awareness. Ain't that dope? You got problems money can't solve.
Huh.
That's the hard part. Like, man, you can go get all the money you want, but we can't do nothing with that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So I'm fighting for my life. I'm trying to find a match. And long story short, I've teamed up with Be The Match. And with me having sickle cell, spending so many days, I can't get any more blood transfusions, bro. And without blood transfusions, people with blood disorders such as leukemia or sickle cell or any other blood disorder, we don't have a chance. And because us as black people are predisposed and exposed to traumas of misrepresentation in the medical community, such as Henrietta Lacks or the Tuskegee experiments.
Wow.
You know, we kind of stay away from it. Like, exactly. I don't want to know what you tested for STDs. I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? We're so traumatized.
Exactly.
So, you know, our bone marrow registry for our black people is under 4%. That means that if your mom or your sister or your cousin catches cancer or disease or any blood disorder, they have a literal 22% chance out of 100, which equals out to about 4% at living. And if I'm Anglo-Saxon, I got a 77% chance because they go out and they register, they donate, they get out and help the people. Same with, you know, the Asian population. Yeah. It's only our black community that is only worried about this problem when it hits our doorstep. So because it's on my doorstep and I have the relationships to come out and talk to you and to be on the Ugly Money podcast and to be out here spreading this message is a blessing, because I'm talking anybody but a dead body, any soul but a shoe sole. Wow. You know what I mean? Because how would you feel if it was your niece or your sister, somebody got sick, right? And then you was like, okay, I'm going to get my bone marrow, and then you go to the registry that's sanctioned by the U.S. government, Congress, and you find out that there's only 5 black people on the list.
Wow.
But it takes 432 black people to register for me to absolutely positively have one genetic match. Do you understand how many people we got to activate? Ava, Thor, Kai, Elise. We have people dying out here that are kids. I'm not talking about the adults that didn't have a chance to live his life like how kind of we had. Yeah. You know, we kind of made our decisions. You know, we partied. I'm talking about the little angels, man. You know, rest in peace, Marlo, and rest in peace to his daughter. Like, he went through it. He said it. Wow. You know, I took $1 million to the doctor. And what did the doctor tell you? I'm sorry, there ain't nothing we could do, man. You can't buy your way out of this. So we have to care our way out of these situations. We have to be compassionate and not have compassion fatigue. So, you know what I mean? Like, thank you for letting me spread this message. Like, everybody, man, like, please text Stay Fresh, all one word, to 61474 and help save my life or somebody else's, because it's suffering out here post-COVID.
That's real, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's real.
I know it ain't cool sometimes, man, to
No,
care,
no,
but we gotta let our people know.
You gotta, because a lot of us don't know.
Yeah, I would hate to think we that heartless, right?
No, we just don't know.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting the word out about, donating and things of that nature. Cause,
Yes, we don't know.
Any other time, we'd be like, whatever. So it's bone marrow.
Yes, bone marrow
that we need
registry
donations for
cancer and leukemia. And guys and women, I want to say this for real. This is important. Let's not be reactive to situations.
Come on, proactive. Come on.
You know what I mean? Let's actually
nip it in the bud before it
get out and be the change that we want to see early. Let's not wait till it's on our table, then we want it to be an emergency. Let's not make our emergency other people's problems. Let's get out and actually see what matters to us the most. It might not be cancer or sickle cell. It might be homelessness. It might be financial education or social justice. We as a community just have to get active. You know what I mean? It don't have to be this one, the medical. I get it, right? It's a thought. We're losing and being attacked on all fronts as a black community, underprivileged, underserviced community. They're coming at every angle. So I'm just saying to my youth and to my peers and to anyone that's listening, let's just get active. Let's get in the game.
No, facts, man. That's facts. Now, what is that contraption that you got over there, Stay Fresh? You got some,
man. I'm always over here on my tinkering and tinkering when it comes to production, right?
You always ahead of the curve, man.
You should be, right? Because we used to be in 2D, but now I think it's like 5D now. It's several different dimensions that we're in, and we got to understand how important it is to make sure that we are abreast on the technology, how it applies to our culture, how it applies to changing our lives, because things are different post-COVID. Yeah. And if we keep approaching these situations and these scenarios with the same blueprint from yesteryear, we're going to get the same results. Heck. So let's get out there and let's fan the flame of our photographers, of our coders, of our programmers, of the people that can really help us in this algorithm, because that's where it is.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I've always said, like, the first person, with every tragedy or with every, bad thing, there's $1 billion waiting. If you can find, where it is, if you can beat everybody else to it, if you can see where the world's going to be at in the next 5 years, there's $1 billion there waiting.
But that's where I pride myself in being. Like, I've always made sure I lived in the deal. Like, a lot of people don't like that, but I live in the deal. Like, the reason why you probably hear my name so much is because I know and I understand pride, right? And people will before the fall comes to pride, but men especially, and it being a men-fueled industry, like, thank God for women. If we didn't have women in this game, like, literally, it would have been over before it started. You know what I mean? But I honestly believe that the ability to make sure that we fan all aspects of what we do genuinely. Like, let's not let it be for something. Sometimes just do it and give it to the universe. Because a lot of those deals I did, I could have actually been a bad deal doer.
Yeah.
Right? And I would have won then, 100%. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, would I have been here?
Nah.
Sitting right here talking to you guys, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have been people saying the good things, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because once again, money can't buy me out of my situation.
Yeah.
So it has to be integrity. And so I beat that into everybody around me, which kind of is funny when I'm like, are you sure they said good things? Because my expectations are so high because I can't give excuses. I'm 3,000 days in the hospital. You all know how to count. Do the math. There's 365 days in a year. This is certified on paper. I can pull the medical records. So when you spent that much time in the hospital close to death, every time you go, then you have a real good relationship with death, and you understand we go God this. And I think I should be a little bit more mindful of what I'm doing while I'm going to conquer and be creative and be, all these grander dreams we have. What am I sacrificing what am I doing to get there?
When you've been that close to it, what becomes are certain things not as important as they are? What becomes important?
loyalty, integrity. You start really looking at a person's character. Like sometimes you can just overlook something like, oh, shouted it, that just shouted, or that just, you know what I mean? Because it might not affect you directly. But after a while, it really starts becoming important because if I can't trust you on a $5 show, why would I put you on a $5,000 show?
Come on.
If I can't trust you on a $5,000 show, why would I put you on a $50,000 set? If I can't trust you with a $50,000, it goes on and on. So it's like you ask yourself this. You know what I mean? And then you look at the people around you and be like, well, you know what I mean? Are they accountable? Are their integrity good? Are they good people? Like everybody's not perfect, but man, let me get an 80. Let me get 80% out you, B.
It's funny, yeah. So you look at just who people are.
Yes. You got to look beyond the obvious by heeding the words of the elders. And really what it is actions. We do a lot of talking, but that action, boy, and I'm going to tell you this because I'm a guy that prides himself on knowing everybody. During this time of me fighting for my life, I have had the clarity that not a lot of people ever get to see, which is who really is there for you.
Come on.
This is when it starts getting real, like, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
convoluted. You know what I mean? Then you start thinking about what someone owes you versus what you know you gave to the universe, what the universe is giving back to you. It's a real thing. You never really know who is there for you until you face fidelity, until you face ruin in the face of fidelity. You know what I mean? Like what's what you're gonna see. And that's a blessing to me because it allows me to focus on the people who really love me.
There it is.
We walk around so much focusing on other things and who ain't messing with us and all that, man. Go network with strangers and focus on the people who actually support you. If we did more of that, man, it'd be, woo. I'm talking life would be, man, the story,
Yeah. Nah, facts, man.
it'll unfold, big dog.
No, the awareness is a real thing, man. I just greatly appreciate you just coming by sharing that with us. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't talk about it, nobody knows.
And you know what? And I had to do it. I had to do it. Even today with working with Be The Match, the great people at Be The Match, I said to myself, listen, at the end of the day, if we don't get active, because this is a 4% issue on the black side, right? And we always look out. Instead of looking up and within, we look up and out. Well, who we gonna blame? What he shouted over there? We never really be like, man, what do I do, damn?
Yeah, where I messed up at.
You know what I mean? Like, let me just see before I approach it that way. Let me just really ponder on what I could have done. And guess what? We don't never do that. So we always willing to blame. So you got to look at how you can be useful. The name of the game is just don't be used and abused.
Respect.
But be useful. I don't want nobody coming in the room not trying to be useful.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't let them use you up.
Yes, don't be using the
mistreat you,
There you go. And now
misuse
you turning that nightmare into a daymare, and you're telling everybody that got ears what didn't happen to you.
Question: when it's all said and done, what do you want Stay Fresh to be known for?
I want people to take from my life experiences, understanding that love is the highest elevation of understanding, man. And that's not a word. Love is an action. That's a verb. You know what I mean? And I just want to be known as the person who went beyond and never took no for an answer. Always looked at it as a suspended yes. Always readdressed the no. Always positive and never giving up. Because it's so easy to give up, man. Like, I think people don't understand it's easier to give up than it is to actually stay in the game.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because we always get to the 90-yard line and give up, and then we be mad that we dropped it at the 90, and somebody at the 90 just did the 10-yard, and then they in there celebrating. You like, man, I done ran 90 yards, but I quit because, like, no, we got to learn how to, really be, number one, accountable for our actions and happy for others. You know what I mean? Like, learn how to fan somebody flame. It's okay to, tell them, It
don't take nothing from your shine.
Man, listen, you can light 1,000,000 candles.
It don't take nothing from your shine, man.
1,000,000 candles.
What's next, and where can these people follow you at, man? If they're looking for you, if they're looking for to donate and things of that nature.
Man, we got a lot of things next, but what's most important is saving lives.
Facts.
So
That's
that's all I'm focused on right now, man. We have we teamed up and partnered with Be The Match, and we're raising our bone marrow registry above 4%, and we're saving lives one registry at a time. I need everybody to just please take a little time out your day. Text Stay Fresh. That's all one word. Stay Fresh. That's STAYFRESH. No spaces, no gaps to 61474. And what that does is that's going to send a little text message to your phone. And you fill that out, give us a little information. We send a discreetly wrapped package to your house. You can swab in the safety of your home discreetly. You can send it back. All the postage is paid for, all by just texting Stay Fresh to 61474. So thank you to the great people that be the match. We're just saving lives. Thank you to everybody at the Fresh Sales, Fresh Taste family, everybody at the Green Toad Hemp Farm, Freddie Kelly, Scrappy, One Way Problem, the committee. It's just a real family thing. And a big shout out to the Ugly Money podcast, because I know I watch. Respect. And so we have a lot of entertainment and a lot of great talent that comes through here. But I'm just glad to be able to disrupt a little ignorance and bring some seriousness and a cool way to just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, let them know we ain't, you know what I mean? It got to be some structure to the man.
Damn right, man. I appreciate you, man.
No, man, I appreciate y'all, dog.
And they can follow you on Instagram as well?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, man. Everybody, it's across every platform. Stay Fresh ATL. It's very simple. No spaces, no gaps. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. It's pretty much on every platform. Stay Fresh ATL. Follow the hashtag Fresh Sales. That's FRESHCELLS. I'm not talking jail cells. I'm talking blood cells.
Brother, when you find your match, man, we got to bring you back on here so we can talk about it.
Because I'm going to find my match, right?
I don't know.
I know it's 432 people to find one person, but I'm going to pull them numbers off.
The deals you got, you can make that deal happen.
I'm going to make that. I done made a lot of deals. There you go, right? But that one, I got to make happen.
Hey, man, you can follow me at Ugly Money Nietzsche. That's Ugly Money NICHE. Remember, the bigger the dream, the bigger the risk, the bigger the payoff. This has been the Ugly Money Podcast with Stay Fresh.
Yes, sir.